Well, I've got some exciting news to share with the congregation. We've been working on our worship schedules and different opportunities for worship, as we know this is a key part of our life together. We're also looking at how do we reach more people for Christ, people who are not currently with us, but perhaps God is working in their lives and wants to work through us to draw them into the family of faith. So we're looking at our Sunday morning schedule, and we've made some decisions that I want to inform you about that'll come into effect this fall in September, starting the first Sunday after Labor Day, which will be September 8th. We're going to switch our 8:30 worship service on Sunday morning to begin at 9 a.m. So we'll move that start time back 30 minutes. We'll be amending the format just a little bit during that early service. It will still feel familiar, but we'll sing a little bit less and leave out a couple other elements of the liturgy so that we can do that early service in about 40 to 45 minutes. So the worship hour is going to be 9 a.m. to 9:45. We'll move Sunday school back just a few minutes. So it'll start still right after that early service. So it'll begin at 9:50 and run until 10:45. So we are going to shave 5 minutes off the Sunday school hour to make this Sunday morning schedule work, because we still, of course, will be doing our 11 o'clock service in the same format as always. It will continue to be on TV as well, and it'll be the same format that you've been used to if you've been a regular here at the 11 o'clock service. But we're excited about this opportunity to move from 8:30 to 9 for a couple of reasons. I read some research last year that suggested that people who are looking for a new church home do not consider services that begin earlier than 9 a.m. on Sunday to even visit. So as we continue to think about how we open doors for people searching for Christ and considering Boston Avenue, what I realize is that our 8:30 service becomes a non-option for those folks who God might be working with to draw here. So we're going to shift that to 9 o'clock. The other piece of research that came up that was fascinating to me that I read last year was about young people. It pointed out that particularly for adolescents, for teenagers, where they are in their physical and mental and emotional development is that they do need more sleep, and they need some of that sleep to come early morning hours. So asking those teenagers who sing in our early service to come to the church at 7 a.m. is really contrary to our best understanding of what's best for them. When we surveyed our families, they all reinforced that, saying 9 o'clock really would be a better start time for their families. These are families with children and youth, particularly the ones who have youth that sing in our youth choir, which are several dozen of our families. So given all that information, we did some surveys. The surveys came back from people here in the congregation. 89% of them said that changing to 9 a.m. would have no impact on their family or would have a positive impact on their family. So given all that information, we are going to make this switch where our early service will begin at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning starting September 8th. If you're an early worship person, I hope you'll plan to be there at 9 a.m. and worship with us. As we endeavor to reach more people for Christ, we're very hopeful that this minor change in the Sunday morning schedule really will make us more accessible to people looking for a faith family. I hope you'll support us in that and be a part of that, and we're looking forward to how that's all going to unfold beginning in September. Also related to that, as we looked at our weekly schedule, we realized that perhaps a midweek service of worship would be important for our family of faith. So we have looked at our Wednesday night schedule where we have bell choir rehearsals for several different groups. We have vocal choir rehearsals for several different groups. We have a whole variety of educational and spiritual formation experiences for children, youth, and adults. But they all seem to be operating in a sense kind of independently of one another. So we have reformatted our Wednesday night schedule to include worship at 6 o'clock. This is going to be a simple, informal, meditative, kind of interactive, intergenerational service. We're inviting everyone who would like to be a part of it to come. It'll be a brief service from 6 p.m. until 6:25 to 6:30. We'll still be having bell choir rehearsals, vocal choir rehearsals. We'll still have spiritual formation and Christian education groups for all ages throughout the evening. But we're amending that schedule to reserve that 30 minutes right there in the middle of the evening to be a key time for us. There'll still be a snack supper opportunity before that, beginning at 4:45 and running until just after 6. All of this will take place in Community Hall, so you can come and bring your family if you have children, eat right there in Community Hall, stay to be a part of the worship experience, and then move on to any other activities that you or your family would like to be a part of. Our different ordained clergy will be speaking, will be doing the preaching, if you will, at these services. We'll have a whole variety of different kinds of music as part of the service. But as we think about what it means to be in relationship with God through Christ, we realize we really would do well to have a midweek worship service. We're going to call it Recharge, with this idea that we all need that time throughout the week to kind of be reinvigorated by God. I think this idea of having a time to make sure that we're focusing on God throughout the week and in this midweek time will really create a different sense of kind of a sacred space, a place where you can come expecting to be able to encounter God. Just as you would on a Sunday morning coming to worship, you'll have that same opportunity on Wednesday evening. So that'll be at 6 o'clock. We'll be putting out the whole Wednesday evening schedule. You'll see it in the Word and posted in other places. We'll still have all the activities we've had before. We'll even have more enrichment classes for adults than we've had in the last few years. It's going to be a great time to be at church, to be in the building, to be here on Wednesday night. We hope that you'll consider that as well as you plan your week, to join us for Recharge Worship Wednesday at 6 o'clock. The other thing, of course, with worship is that we've been working on our contemporary or blended service that we're calling our 13th Street Worship. It will continue in our Jubilee Hall on Sunday morning during the 11 o'clock hour. During the fall, it'll still be meeting just 2 times a month, the second and third Sunday mornings of each month, September, October, going through the fall. We're still hoping as we build the critical core group of people that soon we'll be able to go to an every week service experience. Maybe in January or sometime during 2020, we'll be ready to do that. We'll keep you posted on that. But if you know of people who are looking for informal worship, the Wednesday night option and the 13th Street option would be great ideas for you to share with someone else. So, lots of things going on this fall at Boston Avenue. We hope that you're planning your schedule so that you can make it a priority to worship God, to be in community with other Christians, to be a part of the family of faith here. Your participation helps make this an ever more vital place where not only you can grow in faith, but others can come to experience God and Christ by coming to Boston Avenue. Thanks so much.